This is my latest printed embroidery pattern called the Last Gasp of Summer, and I will link it in the comments where you can find it. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do several of the stitches that you'll see on here. The first one is the bullion knot, which you see here and here. It's a really pretty decorative stitch. So here is an unstitched version of this pattern. This is what you'll receive if you purchase it. I'm going to show you this bullion knot, which is right here and right here. That's where I added it. With this pattern, you can feel free to add these stitches anywhere, but I do want to show you on how I did it on mine. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to bring my needle up. With this stitch, you'll want to use something like a milliner's needle, where the entire needle is the same width from the eye to the end of the needle. They're my favorite needles to stitch with anyway, so they're the type that I use for almost all embroidery. Okay, so this is going to be the length of my stitch right here. So I brought my needle up here, and then I went down. Now I'm not bringing my needle and thread all the way through. I'm going to bring my needle up right where I started. And then I'm going to separate these, take this thread, and I'm just going to start winding around the needle. Not super tight, just, I mean, it's not loose, it's not tight. You'll start to feel the tension as you work through these. And I just want to make sure it's going to go a tiny bit further than, see how I have, okay, so when I lay my needle down, you can see that the wrapped stitches go a tiny bit further than that stitch right there. So now I have my stitches, I'm going to hold on to them, and I'm going to bring my needle through the stitches, pull the thread. You're not really bringing your needle through the stitches, you're just really pulling the stitches tight. So I'm pulling them, and then I'm taking my needle and I'm going back down into the second hole that I had brought my needle up from. So I wanted my stitch to be a little bit raised. I'll show you from the side. You can see it doesn't touch the fabric exactly. You don't have to make yours like that. I like to make mine that way for this flower because I'll put them in random spots, and I kind of like that look for this type of flower. So I'm going to show you again another one. I'm bringing the needle up. I'm going to turn it a little, and then I determine the next size of my stitch. So I bring the needle down, and then don't take your thread all the way through. Bring your needle up in that first spot again, and then start wrapping your thread around the needle. I wrap and then push it down a little bit, otherwise it wants to come right off the needle. You can lay the needle down. Maybe this one I want a little bit closer to the fabric, so I don't want it quite as raised, so I'll make it exactly the size. Hold on to your stitches that you just wrapped as you pull the needle. And I hold on to them until I feel like I'm coming to the end of my thread. And then I still kind of move them down into place. Take your needle down into that second hole. And there you have it. So I'm just going to keep stitching this area. And then when it's all done, here's my finished one. This is what you'll have right there and right there. So that is the bullion knot.